YouTube. Today we're going to be going over UberSelect and how you can get involved in being an UberSelect driver pretty inexpensively. The first thing that we're going to start off with is what is UberSelect? So I'm located in Chicago, and I know not only UberX but UberSelect as well as some of the other offerings from Uber are available in many other cities. In Chicago specifically, this is going to be what we're going to be going through, the qualifications, as well as a couple of the other needs for an UberSelect car in Chicago. But this should apply for lots of other cities that have UberSelect. So first of all, let's go through what you need to be an UberSelect driver in Chicago. You need a model year 2007 or newer. The interior has to be leather, and it must have 4 doors and 5 seat belts. There's a whole lot of cars that you're allowed to drive as an UberSelect driver, and today I'll be going through just most of the cars that are under $15,000. There may be a few other ones on here that are under $15,000, but in my experience and me being a gearhead and everything like that, I picked the ones that I thought were the most biggest bang for your buck. So we'll be going through those, and then we'll be going through my final recommendations at the end. We're going to start from most expensive to least expensive. And one thing that I do want to talk about is UberXL. So with UberXL, if you have a car that holds 7 people and it's a model 2001 or newer with any monochromic exterior, you'll be fine to be an UberXL driver. The thing to note about this is that if you have an UberSelect car that also qualifies for UberXL, you can not only take passengers requesting UberSelect, you can also accept passengers requesting UberXL, and for both of these, you can accept passengers that request UberX as well. So it's pretty lucrative if you think about it, to having an UberSelect ride that also qualifies for UberXL. So the first thing that we're going to start with is the Audi Q7. This is actually a car that qualifies for both UberSelect and UberXL. It is the most expensive car on this list. That's really just because it's an Audi, and also it's a pretty solid ride. It has 7 seats, and so unlike its brethren, the Porsche Cayenne and the Volkswagen Touareg, this is the only one of those, essentially the 3 of the same cars that hold 7 people. So this would qualify you for UberXL as well. The Land Rover LR3 is next. This one's coming in right at $12,000, kind of like our last one, a little bit under our last one. This actually includes the 3rd row option because I figured if you're going to try and get this Land Rover, you might as well also qualify for UberXL. This one's going to be a little bit more expensive than probably even the Audi when it comes to servicing. Not a lot of technicians in at least this area are going to let you kind of get away with servicing a Land Rover for cheap. But if you aren't intimidated by that and you know how to do it yourself, this is a very capable car. You can go off-roading if you want to in it. Not sure that will really help you in Chicago or with Uber, but it's a little perk. This is kind of an honorable mention and a question mark. This is the 2006 Porsche Cayenne. I put this in here because I'm a little bit biased. I do own a Porsche myself, and the idea here is that they didn't actually have a 2007 model of the Cayenne. They have a 2006 model and a 2008. With that being said, you may be able to get away by emailing Uber or going through their support channel to say, hey, I'm looking to get a 2006 Cayenne, and would that qualify because there is no 2007 model? They may say yes, and if that is the case, Blue Book is stating that it's $11,400, but I've seen lots of different examples that come in under that are pretty pretty straightforward. If you're okay with doing a little bit of putting a little bit of elbow grease into it, getting it up to snuff, you can definitely find some examples under the $10,000 mark. Next car on the list is an '07 Lexus ES. This is going to be expensive because it's a Lexus, and also because it's really just a bulletproof car. This is a luxury version of the Camry. most of the taxis in Chicago's are Camrys nowadays. You've probably seen them all over the road. It's like that for a reason. They're rock solid. And this is the Lexus version of that. So for about 10 grand, you can find yourself in one of these, and it's not going to have a ton of frills. You probably won't get the hybrid version of this, but nonetheless, it's a Lexus ES, and it's a big on the interior, and you're riding in a stylish Camry. Next car is the Infiniti G. This is the G sedan, actually, because obviously the G coupe is not going to allow you to be an Uber driver at all. This is a little bit more expensive than I anticipated being, because I've seen examples that go for less than $10,000. The reason it's holding its value so well is this is essentially a four-door 350Z. And you're not going to have a ton of room in the back, but the engine's going to be rock solid. It's essentially the 3.5 liter Nissan, and you're going to have some of the luxury gizmos that come with it being an Infiniti. Next car on our list is the Acura TL. Again, all these are 07, just because that's going to be the cheapest model year that's allowed for UberSelect, and all these are going to be your base, not the crazy options that you can get. But since they're most luxury brands, you're going to get a lot of options standard, and they are all leather. In this case, the Acura TL 07, you're going to look at right around $9,000. This is really a luxury version of a Honda Accord. Bulletproof, not a lot of maintenance. It's the V6, so you're not going to get awesome gas mileage, but at the same time, it's going to be, a Honda through and through, and you're going to be able to ride around in this every day, not having to worry about too much. Next car on our list is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class for 07. This is going to be right around $8,000. You're riding around in a Mercedes. It is a little bit on the smaller side, especially in the rear area, so keep that in mind if you think your customers are going to want a little bit more room in the passenger area. That's just how the C-Class is built. But, being able to get in one of these for $8,000, if you can find one that doesn't have a lot of kind of issues with it, you're going to have, a car that can go some mileage afterward. Next car on our list is the proven BMW 3 Series. This is right around $8,000 too. You're going to run into some of the same question marks with the C-Class. It's going to be a little bit small in the rear, or I guess not a little bit. It's going to be very small in the rear compared to the other cars we've seen so far. It's on the pricey end as well, but if you're looking for something sporty, something more flashy than what we've seen so far, the 3 Series might be right for you. Next on our list is the Audi A4. This is going to be, kind of in the same size range as the C-Class and the 3 Series. This one is the all-wheel drive Quattro one. I figured if you're going to be buying an Audi, you might as well buy the Quattro, especially in Chicago. Having the front wheel one is okay, but the Quattro ones are more common, and you can usually find them for just slightly more than the front wheel drive. So this one at $7,700 might be a good fit for you. The 2007 Volkswagen Touareg, I mentioned that before. It's noticeably cheaper than the Q7 or the Cayenne. Really, the only reason it's cheaper is because there's more of them out there, and it's a Volkswagen. It just has a different brand on it. You're not going to get all the frills or the kind of the name of Porsche or Audi, but you're going to get a solid car. The thing about this one, though, it doesn't come with 3 rows of seats, so you're not going to be able to qualify for the XL. And this one's at $7,400. Then, kind of the more surprising cars as we get towards the lower price, 07 Cadillac CTS. It's the older body style, not the brand new ones that you see driving around, but for $7,000, you're getting a great car. You're getting a Cadillac. This one was actually, very highly reviewed, this model of Cadillac CTS. And, if you're not intimidated by having to service a Cadillac, might be a great value for you. The Chrysler 300, this is not going to be your 300C or your SRT8, but it's going to be, it's going to look the same, and, you could definitely fool some people out there being an Uber driver. It's going to look great, and for almost right under $7,000, you probably can't go wrong with this one. The Volvo XC90, was my biggest surprise. Getting one of these guys for $6,800 is, in my opinion, a steal. Just like, you know, the Mercedes-Benz G-Class and the Land Rover Range Rover, this car doesn't change over the course of its you know, model history. I think it went from 04 or 03 up until 2014 until they did a, you know, a change in the model. But this is, you know, a really great car, very safe, and a great value. Also, the XC90 is a 7-seater car, so it's going to also qualify for you for the UberXL. The '07 Lincoln Town Car, no explanation needed here. This is what Uber drivers have been driving around in for a long time. This is what livery licensed people in Chicago still have today, and essentially cabs and cops have been driving around in a version of this for a long time with the Crown Vic. So at $6,200, you can't go wrong with a town car, and this is going to be bulletproof, easy to work on, and you know, it's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck here. Finally, the Jaguar X-Type, or Jaguar for my my British brethren across the pond. This is going to be, you know, $5,800, a great value. You know, almost incredible if you think about it, what a Jaguar costs brand new. This one, I believe, is actually all-wheel drive as well, and it's a great value. So if you're not intimidated by working on a Jag or having to send it in for servicing, this is pretty flashy. You'll get to roll up to your customers in a Jag and be able to say, hey, you know, they'll have a little bit more room in the back than some of the other cars we've had on the list. So this is going to be a great value. For my recommendations, I would say that this car actually falls in at third, or a very close third, just because of the entry-level price. It's a Jag. It's got the name brand along with it, little luxury name brand. And if you can deal with the service factor, I would say this definitely comes in on number 3. Number 2, I'm just going to go again with the Lincoln Town Car. It's solid, best, you know, very reliable. Everybody's driving them, and it's going to have a lot of room in the car, a lot of room in the trunk, and you know, you're going to be able to still cruise in style while knowing you're having a really reliable car. But my number 1 overall recommendation is going to be the Volvo XC90. That's because it's got 7 seats, and according to Uber, 7-seat belts. Also, it's a very, you know, highly reviewed car, very safe car, very capable. It's an SUV. It's going to have lots of room, and the price you just can't beat. So with that being said, those are my top 3 recommendations. Honorable mentions, I would say number 1 honorable mention goes to the Cadillac CTS, and number 2 probably goes to the Chrysler 300. Really great bang for your buck cars, and you know, you can't go wrong with them. So with that being said, if you're watching this video, thank you. Be sure to subscribe. I'm sure I'll, you know, do a few more videos in the future when it comes to things like this. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Again, if you just are getting started in Uber, welcome. If not, be sure to check my recommendation code on the video. And if you're interested in earning some money, get involved, and this is a great way to do it. Thank you.